So we are back with the Days Info Startup Series, and today with me Shrikant and Himanshu from Diabito. Welcome Himanshu, welcome Shrikant.
Thank you.
So first we would like to know more about your startup as a business model.
Uh, uh, Diabito is basically a Bluetooth hardware device which connects into your glucometer, and it wirelessly transfers your reading into the mobile application that we have created. So basically what we are trying to do here is that we are helping diabetes patients, to manage their data very seamlessly.
Okay.
And it also enables the doctors to read their data very accurately in terms of graphs, in terms of managing it in Excel sheet, because usually what we have seen in the current talks with our doctors that we are consulting is that people send them reports in form of maybe a scanned copy, which is difficult to read because most of the times the handwriting is not really accurate and not very readable. So that's the main problem that we are trying to cater here.
So what I understood, it's like a combination of hardware and software. What made you to think that this sort of business model will work in India specifically?
Actually, our main market is not only India. Our main market is US and Europe.
Okay.
And obviously we don't want to miss out on India and the emerging markets. We will definitely be targeting it. Since I told you that this data management is definitely a problem, so which is why we came up with this idea. Actually, Shrikant would actually give you a very brief note on how we came upon this idea, because he was interacting with some of the guys we have in our company, and which is why this idea actually came to us.
Shrikant, then I would like to listen more about this case studies on your really a good product.
Right. So basically, my father is a diabetic, and also what happened was that I had a couple of startups before Diabito. What had happened was that my previous startup was in Bangalore, and we had scaled from about one developer to 70 people here in Bangalore. But it was completely services based. It was not a product based startup.
Okay.
So as most of the services based companies, it just didn't go anywhere. And I came back from Bangalore to Mumbai, but we had a few employees here as well who were working for us, and they were awesome employees. And one of the employees was like really great. But off lately his attendance started dropping out, his performance started going down. So I was like really pissed because we were not going anywhere, and I asked him that what really is the problem. He said that there's nothing wrong with me, but my father is a diabetic.
Okay.
And I said that that's all right, even my father is a diabetic. So he was like, no, actually the thing is that what happened was that his father has been diagnosed with diabetes since about the past 5 years. And off lately what had happened is that his sugar was not getting under control, and so obviously his doctor had told him that he has to actually monitor his glucose levels on a daily basis with the help of a glucometer. But what had happened was that his father was managing his glucose readings since 2 years, and what he had done is that he had written all his readings in a file. So the hospital had given him a file.
Okay.
And one fine day, I would say that one unfortunate day, the hospital misplaced the file.
Okay.
So what had happened is that all the readings, which the data was there, is just gone. And his doctor was a diabetologist at a very reputed hospital in here, and he would see about 500 patients a day. And obviously he did not remember that what oral medications he had prescribed to his father and everything. It was a total mess.
Okay.
So it was just like he was just following up with the hospitals, checking out all the files and stuff like that. Fortunately, after about 7 days, the hospital found the file.
Okay.
But actually that gave us an idea, is that definitely this is a definite problem for all the diabetic people. Like once they are diagnosed, probably they don't really care about having their readings taken or so on and so forth. But what happens is that over the period of time, this becomes like a huge tedious problem. It's definitely a pain point.
Okay.
Wherein what happens is that they have to go and they have to probably increase the frequency of monitoring their glucose readings.
Okay.
And that's when the problem arises, because what they have to do is that they have to actually write down the readings.
Okay.
So when it becomes,
first they have to check and then they have to write it, and
Right.
that too physical.
yeah. And what happens is that this problem becomes more, because obviously you have to have your data all over all over the time period.
Correct.
So this is not just the problem for the geriatrics, because usually there's a misconception that diabetes will only affect for people who are 40 above and so on and so forth. But actually diabetes affects people with even kids.
True.
The type 1 diabetes.
Correct.
So now what happens is that in the developed countries like Europe, you have these programs which are sponsored by pharma companies, wherein they actually tell them, they educate the children that you have to monitor your diabetes, you have to monitor with the help of glucometers and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, here in India, it's not the case.
Okay.
But so what happens? I'll tell you another case study. So we were talking to a doctor in a very reputed hospital in Mumbai, and she said that a 5-year-old patient used to come to her. She's very cute and everything. So what she had done is that she had given her the glucometer,
Okay.
and said that here is the glucometer.
Okay.
You have to just monitor yourself,
Okay.
and you go back and you just like after 7 days, you just write down your readings and come back to me.
Okay.
So she would do that, and her doctor was very happy. The readings are in place and stuff like that. So this thing happened for 6 months, and then after 6 months, she said that everything is fine.
Okay.
But when she did a routine checkup of hers, her eyes were getting affected, her kidneys were getting affected. She said that the readings are just perfectly fine, but there's something really wrong. So she said that here's a glucometer.
Okay.
Just right now in front of me,
Okay.
just check your glucometer and just check your glucose readings and just give it to me.
Okay.
The glucose readings were like haywire.
Oh.
And then she understood that the kid was actually faking the readings because she thought that it was actually like an exam kind of a report.
Yes.
So she said that if you guys come up with some kind of this thing,
Okay.
I would definitely want this to be given to my patients. I would definitely give it to my patients and that, just take this and email me the readings.
Okay, I got it.
And also she gets she gets patients who travel 40 kilometers. So what she does is that, okay, fine, you don't have to come here every 7 days or every fortnight or every month. What you do is that you write down your readings,
Okay.
you scan them and send it over the email. But she said she actually showed us the readings,
Okay.
I mean the scans, they were illegible, it's like obviously she could not understand the handwriting.
Correct,
So it was definitely a pain point for her.
So basically here what's happening is whatever the moment they are reading, automatically the information as well as their records are going into electronic form and getting saved somewhere.
Yes.
Right. So can you just explain how exactly this whole model works, how exactly your tool, or rather because it's a mix of hardware and software, how exactly your whatever you want to call it works?
So what happens here is that you just have to take your normal routine blood test in your glucometer, which you have, and the glucometer port basically is where you
And
connect.
it's a universal port, I believe.
Yeah, it's a universal port. So what happens here is that you just have to plug the diabito into your glucometer data port, and it transfers your readings. So it does not transfer your only current reading, it transfers also your past readings which are already there in the glucometer. But it allows you to enter a lot of other data along with your reading.
But where? It transfer to where?
Transfers into the mobile application.
Okay.
that
So
we-
basically an application comes along with it.
Correct.
Which need to be installed on the smartphone.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. So along with your readings, you can also mention insulin amount which was taken, or your stress levels, any kind of wellness problem that you are facing at that particular time, plus some kind of additional information that some kind of food item that you had eaten before taking the reading or after taking the reading. So a lot of data points get accumulated along with your readings, unlike your glucometer. So in your glucometer, it would be just your mg per dl, which is your sugar reading, along with date and timestamp.
And I believe this glucometer, this Diabito dongle, it communicates with the software in your mobile wirelessly.
Wirelessly via Bluetooth.
Via Bluetooth.
Correct.
So this application which comes, it comes by default along with the Diabito.
No, the application would have to be downloaded from individual app stores.
Okay. And the data what you're saving, that is getting saved on the patient's smartphone itself, or you taking help of some cloud-based system where you are just taking a backup?
Currently, we are doing it on the mobile, on the device itself, but in future we plan to do it on cloud as well.
Okay. Another question which I wanted to ask, when you started doing, when probably the idea was in your mind, have you did some sort of market research or just try to understand whether people will accept such type of functionality, such type of tool, or whatever you're involving market? Have you tried to test the water before?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, actually, the thing is that we definitely did a market research, because then we are in the business of developing mobile applications. So we knew that there are about a number of these applications which are already available on the app stores, but wherein you have to manually enter the data.
Correct.
Right, so when that happens, but again it's like the pain point, right? You know that every time you do the reading, you have to manually do the things. And at the same time, we've got a couple of competitors as well, wherein they are simple cables, or maybe like only just tied to only one glucometer or something like that. So they were the hardware devices which were doing this.
Okay.
So we wanted to come up with a better solution,
Okay.
which would be like acting like a very seamless thing, and which would actually remove the whole pain points from our competitors as well.
Okay.
And that's when we came, and obviously the fact figures are like mind-boggling.
Okay.
India is the second diabetic capital of the world, and there are about 61 million diabetics in India. And I mean, there are about 30% of the diabetics are in India.
Okay.
So that's when we just thought that definitely there is a market for it, and the market for medical devices for diabetes is like super huge. It's like about $38 billion.
Correct.
So and which is actually growing at the rate of 13.6 CAGR every year.
Okay.
So I mean, there is definite market for it, and that's when we thought that there's a opportunity for it.
And how long it has been you launched this particular device in Indian market?
We haven't actually launched this
we haven't
product.
launched it, right.
So what has happened is that we are still in the process of getting all the regulatory affairs, regulatory certifications, because if we have to launch it in the US, we would have to take a FDA approval, and in the Europe we'll have to take all the approvals from the CE, and also we are looking at other UL and FCC certifications in the US as well.
Okay, so but how about Indian market? Is the Indian market also demand similar sort of approvals and certifications?
From with our knowledge, which we have done the research, then we would not require these kind of approvals. I mean, these kind of health approvals because essentially it is not a medical device.
Okay.
Because it is just a simple, it just transfers the readings from the glucometer to the mobile
Like
application.
a seamless integration of intelligent software as well as the hardware.
Right, so we would not require any health regulatory certifications here in India, but at the same time, because it would work on a very low voltage, that is, it is less than the 5 volts.
Okay.
So we would not require any ISI certificate as well. So, but at the same time, so these foreign certifications would actually be a kind of a benchmark here in the Indian and the Middle East market as well.
So basically you are waiting for those certificates, but there is no roadblock as if now if you wanted to launch it in Indian market. That's what I have understood from you. All right. Another important thing which I wanted to understand, since there is a good amount of hardware manufacturing cost involved, there's a software development cost involved, obviously, then there is a post-sales support involved. So what is the initial investment from your side, and how did you cope up with all that?
Right, so obviously when we talk about the hardware product, it definitely gives us the jitters,
Correct.
and that's why everybody says that hardware is hard.
In fact, yesterday also I heard the same thing.
So that was a really initial thing, and definitely we come from the software background. So, and this was like the first challenge for us.
And most of the software, they try to stay away from the hardware. That is the general tendency.
Definitely. So it was a definite challenge for us, but somehow we actually really cracked it, because we have a very excellent team.
Okay.
And we did that. But when it comes to the investment, we are looking for a huge amount of investment.
Okay.
Having said that, we got the initial angel funding from the co-founder of UStandard.com,
Okay.
who was initially a mentor for us,
Okay.
and now he's joined us full time. So we got a $25,000 investment
Okay.
from there, and just last week we got a grant from Startup Chile,
Okay.
the Chilean government, of $40,000.
Alright.
So that would definitely that has definitely pushed up our spirits. And we would have, at least for the certifications and for all these processes, we have this. Having said that, we are also raising a round of $1 million, so we are looking for.
I believe you're already in the talks with a couple of investors, right? So how, going further from here, how much time do you see or foresee that by this time I could launch my product in US or UK? Because time is a very important factor, and these days doesn't take for anyone just to replicate the any of the business model. So how much time you think that you need, or probably you are planning or something?
Right. We, by hook or by crook, fortunately by hook, we would be launching it in the next 6 months.
6 months.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I mean, if we don't manage to get investment, then we are ready to launch it by our own funds as well. And with
So
our
are you already in discussion with couple of agencies or vendors or some channel partners?
We are definitely getting a good response. We are already getting letter of intents from the distributors from all around the world.
Okay.
So which means that it definitely there's a need for this in the market. And I'm also traveling to Europe next week to talk with potential distributor partnerships in Italy. So if that happens, then definitely it would be a great boost, and that would mean that we would already be having pre-orders. So we would be knowing that this is the kind of inventory we would want,
Okay.
and then we can just go ahead with it.
So since the whole product was developed in India, what I've understood, so just wanted to know, have you done any sort of POC with any of on the real scenario with any of the hospital or couple of patients, something like that? Have you done any sort of POCs to get some sort of local approval or local certification, or just to understand how exactly the product is working to have a real feel?
We've done a POC, but the number is very small.
Okay.
But having said that, what we are doing is that starting from next month, we will be having like a full-fledged POC starting
Okay.
in Mumbai and in Bangalore.
In Mumbai and in Bangalore, both places. All right. So at this point of time, I believe your software is only supporting the Android. And what about the future plans in terms of OS? By when you think that you can address the huge market of iOS as well as the Windows Phone?
Having said that, obviously we will be launching in the next 6 months. So this would be included in this plan. So we would be starting iOS development in the next 2 months' time.
Okay.
And at the same time, we also want to have an application on the feature phones.
Okay.
So that would also start parallelly.
And I believe right now also it's not available, freely available or openly available for Android users to download, I believe.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
We haven't.
It's not available, neither for on sale. So how, if any company or let's say any of the patient or any of the institution wanted to have a hands-on that, how they do it with you?
So we basically, go there personally and try and test it out along with them. So we carry our Android phones, give them a demo, and try and understand their needs and try and validate our idea whether they like it or not.
Okay.
So that's the kind of thing that we are doing at the moment.
I believe the patients and the doctors are the right judges to give a benchmarking certification of your product. So when you took your product to them, any sort of challenges you face or some sort of very interesting sort of feedback what you have received which you have incorporated in your model?
What happened is that definitely in India, it is always like this, that if the doctor prescribes me something, then they would believe the doctor.
Okay.
So that's why the first thing first is that we are going to the doctors first.
Okay.
And then we are trying to understand so that whether this kind of product, do they need it actually?
Okay.
Because it's not only the problem of the patients which we are solving, but it's also the problem of the doctors, right?
Correct,
As we
correct.
discussed before.
Correct.
So we got like encouraging response from them, because that's what they want, is like they want to understand their reports of the patients in a much better way. So they said that probably they are looking at the price points, and we are discussing on the price points, and then we are seeing that how it's gonna go.
So when you came to the price point, have you decided what is the amount you're going to tag to your dongle, I would rather call it, or Diabito?
I think we would be pricing it somewhere about 2,500 to 3,000 rupees, which is about roughly 50.
It's an open market end user rate.
Yeah, so $50.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. And what about the software?
It would come free.
It would come along with free, so any person can download.
Correct.
And all this. So as you said that you're looking for $1 million of investment. You already I believe you are already in discussion with a couple of investors. How are you getting a response from the investment point of view, investors community?
The investors like it.
Let me explain my question, because I also have spoken with your model with couple of my known fellows, and what I have understood that they feel hardware is a great challenge in your model, and that exactly I want you to address this.
Right. So obviously they do understand that the hardware is a definite challenge here, but they want us to actually prove the model.
Okay.
So what they want is that we should start the production and start selling the the device.
Okay.
So once they see the traction, then they are really ready to take the risk and
But
put his money.
don't you feel that since you are developing whole complete hardware in India, and if you see the other companies, few of the known companies in the hardware section, whether it's smartphone companies or any other company, they most have the company has already outsourced their manufacturing unit either to Taiwan or China. So just to reduce the cost. So however, you are developing everything in India. Is it going to impact on your business model or something, some sort of challenges?
Not really. Actually, the thing is that I mean the main issue with Chinese vendors is that once you give them, even though when you sign all the things, it's like, you know, most of the after about a month's time or something, you will always see a replica of it, you know.
Yeah.
But the conditions and the things here in India are very, very great, very great. The vendors, the contract manufacturers, they actually respect your the NDAs, and they have the kind of a good relationship with you as well. So we are definitely trying to look into manufacturing in here in India as well, and the prices which they are giving are also really competitive as compared to China.
So basically the price what you've tagged it along with the dongle, obviously you feel it's really very competitive, right? One last question I want to know. What about your future plans? How long you are going to sustain with the model, and what is there any exit plan as this point of time itself in your mind?
We definitely have a great plans. So which means that, you know, I mean, obviously I don't want to qualify this question. The thing is that what we want to really do is that we want to be associated as a medical device company which actually integrates with the software. So we want to be not into the diagnostic, but into the disease management space. So we just want we want to start off with diabetes, but we want to move and tackle hypertensive market as well. And also we want to tackle into the cardiac arrhythmias market, wherein like we want to actually focus on pulse oximetry. So, you know, we want to actually have these kind of hardware devices which would seamlessly integrate and communicate with your software devices, which it could be PCs or it could be mobiles as well. So we want to actually, you know, have a complete closed loop, and, you know, we want to tackle the different diseases as well.
So that was Shrikant and Himanshu from Diabeto. Thanks a lot, Shrikant. Thanks a lot, Himanshu, for giving your time. Nice meeting to you. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks
Thanks
so
a lot.
much.
Thank you.